Good morning. How is everybody doing today? Look at the daylight outside. It's 7:30. It's just getting so exciting. I think we're all ready for some spring, aren't we? I was up that hill yesterday. My God, the heat in the sun. I was just in my vest, and it was just, it just brings you back to life. There's absolutely no doubt about it. There's a few clouds today, but it really doesn't matter the weather here. It's just so gorgeous, regardless. So I wanted to jump on and talk about the course that starts today, autoimmune and chronic disease. So there are so many new labels and concepts around the body now because of what's going on since 2020, regardless of whether you think what you think about it, whether it was nefarious or not. We're all different now because of the level of infections, the lockdowns, the fallouts with families, and whether you took the medicine or not. We're all in it together. We've all got spike proteins. There's absolutely no point in worrying about it. And that became very clear when I had the guys here that have all been injured by the jab. That really, we can ruminate over the past, but it's not going to serve us in the long term. And that really became obvious because I did spend a lot of time in fear and worrying about all my family that took it. And then I thought, you know what? What's the point in that? Because I know when I start thinking negative things and focusing on negative things, that it's my body that suffers. And really, that's a bit mad, isn't it? There's no point in me ruminating over the past because we can't change it. And, regardless, again, where do we go from here? Because that's really what we have to be looking at. We have to get over the fear. And there's, I think when you always think about our, our ancestors that went to war. And, imagine putting your kids, your sons on a plane and imagine sitting wondering every day what was going to happen to them. And what do we know? We know that, that what everybody did was pull together to try and get the job done. Now, I'm not suggesting for a minute that we go to war. But what I'm saying is if we all pull together to try and find a way through this, then we will. I absolutely know we will find a way through it. And the huge, incredible power, if you've been following me at all, you'll know that I am always banging on about the power of the collective. And Joe Dispenza's latest documentary, which is really demonstrating the incredible power of the human on the electromagnetic side. Because it seems to me that education is a really huge part of this, because how do you really give people hope without giving them a new perception on the body? And this is always the issue. It's like, what are you thinking? And I've dealt with people who have been diagnosed terminal and have been, all their hopes been taken away from them. The body's working against them. So that's the world I've been living in for quite some time, where you get told one thing and I quite frankly believe something that's completely different. And why is that? That didn't happen overnight. I used to completely believe in the systems. 100% believed in our NHS and our amazing doctors, and I believed in our judicial system. It seems hilarious now. I thought all teachers were amazing, coming from a family of teachers, just assumed that everybody was good. And then you're kind of like, oh, that was quite naive. But I mean, is there anything wrong with that? I do believe there is good in every single human, and situations take people in a different direction, primarily because we're followers, right? We like to keep the peace, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Common term is sheep, which can be quite insulting, as if you don't have a mind of your own, when really you just want to live a quiet life and not go into arguments with people. And that's completely normal too. But the stuff that we've been teaching here at the Heal In, and I've been, even me, who knows all this stuff, I've been really blown away quite dramatically. And even Joe Dispenza says that in his documentary. Even he's like, really? These things are actually happening? Because we know at a conscious level that we are capable of healing. The body's an innate healing machine. We know that. Most people do anyway. We're also quite aware that faith healings were a thing, and prayer, thinking, and asking for help, and in your prayer or in your intention, whatever your belief system is. I don't really think it matters, because what does matter is that for some reason deep down, you're not alone in this universe. There is some higher power or an intelligent field, that's the way I see it, of subatomic particles that carry an intelligence that I don't know if anybody can really explain. And, even watching Joe's documentary, I realised that some of the things I learned in my nutrition course are now false. And that's why when you're teaching, you've always got to say, today somebody else can be seeing a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper. And, that the cells are holding information that really is pretty mind-blowing. The mirror neurons in the brain are tricking us into thinking somebody that triggers us is the enemy, rather than allowing us to see what is inside of us. So it's very fascinating times for healing. And, here at the Heal In, we've got some of the best technology in the world to help you see into your system, what is going on in your body. But really, regardless of tests, and again, you'll probably know I'm not a big fan of tests, because they're usually used to terrify people. And they're a snapshot in time. And then if there's a big heavy story given with that snapshot in time, then that can be your fate. That can become your fate if you have no idea about the electromagnetic side of the body, how the heart works. I mean, bloody hell, our hearts, the power in there. This electromagnetic organ that's bringing and receiving, transmitting and receiving information all day long, and what a part that plays in your healing and your faith. And let's face it, you can spend a lot of time worrying about other people, but you could actually die before them. I've thought this a lot. There's no guarantees. I've got 5 siblings and I'm the oldest. So it would be fitting that I would go first, and I kind of hope that I do. But nobody really knows that nowadays the hierarchical order of age is no longer a judge of health, because so many of our young people are getting sick with diseases that only old people got before. So let me get to the point. This course that we're doing today. So I'm very excited that, one of my friends is coming, and it's always amazing to see who shows up at these things. We're still primarily women, but there's definitely men coming in now to learn. And what we're going to be looking at is chronic autoimmune disease, and that's basically all diseases. Even cancer is a chronic autoimmune disease. And also the kind of latest information around parasites, worms, viruses, and low-grade infections that plague all of us, food poisonings. And again, you may or may not know that I got food poisoning in Gran Canaria last May, and I'm still dealing with the after effects of that now. With my technology, I can see that I still have issues regarding that, and that's nearly a year ago. So it's not a big problem, but it definitely does. Because I'm going to be 65 this year, you do have to start paying a lot more attention as you get older. It's obvious. The older your car is, the older anything is on this planet, you need to, if you don't look after it properly, it's going to degenerate, get rusty. That's how it works. And that's what that's the reality we're living in right now. But as we move into different states of awareness, because this is what really this is all about. And a lot of people are not ready. They will defend Big Pharma till the end of their day. They're not willing to even look at the possibility that perhaps there's another way, a better way. It's all about science, and we know now the science has been bought. It's corrupt as hell. It's impossible for me to actually believe anybody still trusts in this in the data that we get from bought and paid shills who are making millions. It's just exactly what Pablo Escobar did. Just pay off everybody. But at least you knew Pablo Escobar was a crook. We have these drug cartels that are going on that masquerade and they're legal, right? Because everybody's in the pockets. It's just mental. And I know it's hard. I've lost people because I don't mean to death, but because they don't want to hear what I've got to say. And I totally get that. So it's a choice now. And the way I see it is we're moving towards this burgeoning rates of disease that cannot be fixed by a pill or surgery. People come here and they start listing, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this, labels. And I'm just like that going, no, they're all the same thing. It's your body going, hello, I need more nutrition. Hello, cut down the sugar. You're putting me right out of balance, because most of us are destroying our own bodies. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. We don't know we're doing it. Don't get me wrong, we're having a big, hefty helping hand by the government with all the pollution and the poisons. But even within that, we need to lobby, obviously, for great food, great soil. It really annoys me in Scotland. You look around and you just see everything that nature has given you. And it seems to actually come down to faith. Do you believe somebody created this and gave us everything? Or do you believe that the creator made a big fat mistake and now needs a whole load of scientists to improve things? And I suppose if you are an atheist, then it may be a wee bit more challenging to go, what if all this stuff that we're being sold, and the same comes from the naturopathic side as well. Buy this. It's all about making money and selling vitamins and selling parasite cleanses. And that's what drives me nuts, because you know how I like free stuff, and you know how, even if it's not free, it's very, very cheap. And every single person that listens and follows Heal Scotland will be able to do it if they choose. And that's really exactly what we're going to be talking about. Everything that we're going to use is cheap, very cheap. And also we're talking about fasting, the incredible power within to fast. Now, what happens if you're really, really unwell? Because this is another thing we've been talking about. If you're too sick to cook great food, to juice, to do all the things, to go to the shops even, although we can definitely look at how we can add things into our lists. You can get your groceries delivered now, usually pretty much wherever you are. But I mean, I'm aware that it's not as easy. I'm a big fan of a pressure cooker, a slow cooker, soups and stews at this time of year. We've still got some cold weather to go before we come out into spring. Really simple ways that you can keep that food in the fridge for 2 to 3 days and you're going to get the prebiotics and the probiotics into the body and the fibre. Because what we're wanting to do continuously is to take stuff that's in the body and get it out. So tonight we're going to start by looking at why we are sick, the potentials for why the body is struggling so badly. And this is when you've got young kids and you're trying to juggle a job, blah, 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 blah. Even the whole benefit system is just, all our systems are so archaic and clumsy, and they're so stressful to even try and get some help when you're at breaking point. And I just don't understand how any government can be thinking about a booming economy when people are exhausted. But maybe the way I see it from a kind of spiritual energy perspective is that maybe this is what had to happen for us to break free of our dependency on the NHS, because we're now seeing that you're going to have to wait probably quite some time. So people are going, well, why would I sit and wait when there's things that I can do? Everything that we teach you has got solid science and decades often of solid science, but it's still not getting put to you at that point of contact. And there's some amazing doctors that are really getting onto the lifestyle prescriptions. I know that a lot of them, I've got a lot of friends that are doctors, and we have these debates. So maybe that's what has to happen, that, you know, where it's just the system has to collapse before we'll go, right, okay, what if we didn't have the NHS? What are we going to do then? What if we couldn't rock up and get somebody, hope that somebody could fix us? Because it is that 180-degree switch in perception, which is, what can you do for me? It's what can I do for me? You live in that cellular system. We live in that cellular system. So why would somebody that doesn't even know me, doesn't know what I think? Because you can put all that great organic carrot juice into your body, and I highly recommend that you do. Carrots are a superfood. But if you're thinking fear, I've got no hope, I'm powerless, there's no potential for me, it's hopeless, you're negating all the chemistry in your body. And that's why the emotional side is key to healing. And that's why we need to stop terrifying people about their bodies. It's so frustrating. Now I went down the rabbit hole with the people that came here. I still think about them every day because I just feel it's so awful what happened, what our government's done, and they are taking no responsibility. And they're not even acknowledging what's happened, because obviously the floodgates will open when there's still a lot of people that are vaccine damaged that have got no idea that's what it was. Long COVID, there's a whole, because life, there's always a whole load of things that happen to you to weigh your immune system down. And when the immune system's down here, disease comes up. So there's life, all the stresses of life, the childhood stuff. Then there's obviously all the different foods, sex, stresses, all the other stuff that comes with it. And then there's the topsoils malnourished, what's in the water, what's in the skies, what heavy metals have got into the bodies, what viruses are going around, what was unleashed deliberately or non-deliberately in 2020, and what was in the medicines that a lot of people were coerced into taking. Now, fill your boots with Big Pharma if you want. I've no interest in that. For me, it's about people that are starting to go, is there another way that's less toxic? Every pharmaceutical drug has a toxic effect in the liver. And maybe you need that at some points in your life. But we've overprescribed, we've abused a lot of these drugs, and it's created more problems because it's anti-nature. There is something way more intelligent than us. There are laws, universal laws, that if we choose not to live within, we will experience disease. It's as simple as that. So I cannot ever guarantee anybody healing, but what I can guarantee is you'll feel better, for sure. And I've seen that. Even when you're hopeless, Alex Mitchell was here. He was the first person to get the payout. His story, oh my God, 7.5 hours in surgery. His leg amputated way above the knee. I saw with my own two eyes what that does to your day-to-day living. It's very visual. Even just talking about it makes my heart. And then completely unacknowledged, £120,000. Are you kidding on for your leg? So we have a lot of things that need to be addressed. And I'm using the people that have been damaged by the vaccine as an example. There's loads and loads of other people that have been let down by the systems. What are we going to do about it? No more blaming, shaming and complaining. We, the people, have to stand up and go, okay, what's the latest research? What can we do? How can we all pull together and create a new story, the new story? Where are we going to go with this? Do you believe that connection to nature can help you? Do you know when you look out the window, when you go into the forest, into the sea, into the hills, when you just sit in your garden with coffee or a glass of wine, how much better you feel in the natural light? Maybe you don't believe that. Maybe you think you need more drugs. That's fine. It doesn't matter. You go where you need to go. Heal Scotland, and everything I do is for the people that are really starting to go, I don't want to go down that road. I want to reconnect to my life purpose, Why am I here? What am I believing about myself, about the body? This stuff, I can assure you, is so exciting. It is so empowering. But you have to do it, and that's the big difference. Are you ready to take responsibility for yourselves, for that container of your soul, for you being that instrument of consciousness? And what happens when we breathe here together? It's incredible to watch, and it's so incredibly rewarding for me to be able to facilitate that practice. You know, I breathe every day. I breathe this body. I'm like, how can I get to that place, that space of ecstasy, of bliss, of connection, away from all the stories and away from all the fear and the worry that I had last year? And definitely being here has been an enormous help for me, because life is bloody tough for a lot of us right now. Maybe it's not you that's sick, maybe it's your loved ones that are sick. I had a woman here whose son's been very badly damaged by the vaccine. And, you know, if you haven't, then great, I'm delighted for you. But other people have. We need to acknowledge what's happened and what's happening with no fear. Being able to speak your truth, just listening. We know that your magnetic resonance, when you can tell your big secret, whatever it is, or when you get somebody who will listen to you, letting go of all of that story and trying to keep the secret, trying to keep the ball under the water. It's time for all these balls, pardon the use of my language of balls, to get all this up, out from under the carpet. Let's talk about everything and let's make a difference with each other. The government's not going to do it. I don't even know what level of consciousness you have to be to hold that story together right now. It's the NHS can't do it. Even the amazing people, and I know a lot of them within it, they're fighting against a system that's so archaic, so old and out of date. And, you know, trying to change a system is way, way, way more difficult than just creating a new one. And that's what we're doing at Heal Scotland. If you need, and there's loads of people doing similar work, it's not just me. I want to be a platform and a voice for the people that are doing incredible things, that are helping others. People at Wim Hof, Joe Dispenza, Greg Braden, Bruce Lipton, you know, getting the word out about the power within, epigenetics, the power of beliefs, the molecules of emotions, and all the history that we just assumed was true. We're now realising we were seeing it through that very limited lens, the convergent focus. And now we're starting to, we're getting more powerful in so many ways, and people are tuning in literally because they're understanding. I change my brain waves and I tune into different data streams of information. And that's what we can all do. And see when we do it together. That's why I want to get 1,000, 1,500 people in a room doing this together. We create that power grid and we can lift energetically. This doesn't happen on a physical level. This happens in the electromagnetic field. And again, there is so much data around this. When we pull together what we can create, but are you stuck in the past and unwilling? And that's what she's a mad hippie. She's a quack. And that's fine. Away onto somebody else's page. This is the new science. This is the quantum field, quantum physics. And that simply means understanding the body's more than just a chemical, biological suit. The body is a phenomenal energy mass. And we can breathe, we can meditate, we can change our own brain waves at will when we get good at it. We can put our heart and our brain into coherence. That's what Joe Dispenza is doing, getting people into states of coherence. He's measuring it. So how do I know? Because I've measured it. He measures it, and people are changing the information in their body in real time. Now, maybe that's a big stretch for your mind. Maybe you're like, can't it be like that? People have been doing it for bloody centuries. Faith healings. It's all about faith. Somewhere along the line, Anne McPherson had posted yesterday about taking God out, and that's what we've done. We've taken, whatever you believe, we've taken faith out, and we're putting faith into experts who've been bought and paid for. So who do you know? How do you know who to trust? Don't even trust me, because I'm only spouting what I'm learning from other people and my own personal experience. Find out for yourself. So tonight we are going to be starting off with all the issues that can contribute to this supercomputer becoming weighed down and sick. And then tomorrow we're going to be looking at protocols. So we'll be doing that at 11 o'clock tomorrow. So the webinars you can just click on. If you need it for free, just let me know. I'll send it all to you. You can join us live. And then in the afternoon, John's coming in to do some brilliant, give us brilliant ideas for the microbiome and the diversity. Now, what I would say is, if your digestive system's really trashed, then we have to look at what foods might work, because a healthy, there's always two different diets. I always say a healthy digestive system can deal with foods that a very unhealthy digestive system cannot. So we have a healing diet and then we have a maintenance diet. So we'll be looking tomorrow primarily at maintenance diet for people that are relatively healthy, and then it can become more specialized for people with like real issues in Crohn's, IBS, ulcerative colitis, these kind of things, that you may have to go into leaky gut. You may have to go into a much more extreme diet for a bit until the gut starts to heal. But we will be looking and dealing with all of that. So it's exciting times. We've got 10 people rocking up to do this work, which is incredible. And then we're going to be streaming out live. So far, we've got about another 6 or 8 people coming on to the lives. They'll all be recorded because it's going to be up to you. And if you're lying in your bed right now and you don't have money and you don't have time, just send me a message. And I guarantee there's going to be something in here that you can do to help yourselves, because we have to be able to help people at home. Because realistically, not everybody can come here. In fact, if you can come here, you're probably in the top 20% of healthy people on the planet right now. And if you're not healthy, you've certainly got a spirit that others can't, because you can come here for free if you just tell me that you don't have any money. That's so. Anybody that wants to come here that is willing and able to ask, is also know it's not easy to ask. But I don't care about the money. I just care about the desire. Are you ready? Are you wakening up? Do you want hope? Because that's what it's about. Can you actually think to yourself, what if I could even, because if you're in a pain level of 10 and you could get it down to 6, that's going to be an improvement. And if your energy level's at 1 and you could get it up to a 3 or a 4, that's an improvement. So we're not going, always keep the mind open for a miracle. I'm all about the miracles. I see them because it's all about potential and hope. And as you'll come here, you'll join the webinars, you'll be inspired, I guarantee you. You'll be supported, and then it starts to wear off, because your chemistry will be changed. You will be in a different state. You will feel the potential of the field, but then you can slip back in to the old ways. That's how it works for most of us. But you'll not go all the way back down, because now you'll know, I did that breath work and I felt completely different. You will know the potential there. So join us if you can. Join us live. If you're in your bed, if you're really, really disabled and debilitated by life and what's been going on over the last wee while, please, please, please just drop me an email and I'll just send you the links. I want everybody to have access to this information, but we also need to generate some money for the charity. It's £20 for the whole 4 set webinars. Then you've got the recordings. But again, I understand if you're on benefits, you might not have that. It's not a problem. The information's going out anyway. I am happy to share it. And if you can't join live, I'm happy to send you the recordings. We are all in this together. Nobody's coming to save you. Maybe you've had an operation or had treatment in a hospital and now you're home alone and there's no follow-up care. There's no convalescing, there's no getting nursed back to health. We're aware of all of that, and we're looking at it, and we're going to be dealing with it. I've just had a chat with Steve from the Good Food Project. We're going to collaborate because that man is doing incredible work. He's providing great food. He knows, let's cooperate and collaborate. So buy his food if you can. Be part of the change. It's consumer driven. You stop buying all the shite out the shops. The game's over like that. They're left with all that trash that's been deliberately concocted to get you addicted and your kids. And you're exhausted and you can't fight your kids because the parenting's so exhausting, and it is. So we just say, right, none of that's getting bought. Within a week, that's the job done. You saw it with your own two eyes in 2020. They shut the place down. We can shut the shite down by simply making different choices. So please be part of the change. I know it's exhausting. I know it's difficult. And I know I'm in a very privileged place. But I want to help. There's tons of people that want to help. We need to look at helping people in their homes. I was talking to my friend Shirley, Danielle, Joanna, two beautiful girls that died of leukemia. There needs to be a place. It's become obvious to me. I don't want to create a community. I want to create like a new age, new story hospital for people that have been given no hope, where you've been told you're incurable or you're terminal. Trust me, nothing could be further from the truth when you are given the right information and you're simply not getting it. The information you're getting is so out of date. I'm not allowed to say that because of a Cancer Act that was created nearly 100 years ago, but I'm saying it anyway. There are things you can do. I can't guarantee you'll heal. Nobody can. And maybe it's just time to check out. I can totally understand why you would want to check out at times. But together, we can get through this. We can find solutions. We've got a purpose. Helping. Who's your neighbour that's, got young kids struggling? Take them in a plate of soup. That's how it used to work. It's no rocket science. We can change that today. Back into the communities. Look at the councils, the waste. People justifying their jobs and pissing everybody off in the process. We need to get, the bureaucracy is weighing us down. So we, the people, need to get back to looking after each other. The politicians, the government are now controlling us and telling us what to do. What? These goons, no chance. They're here. We pay them. So it's now time for us to go, no, this is not what's happening. We want our soils nutrient dense, full of minerals, so that we don't need to buy supplements to supplement that we can get it from the food if we choose. We stop buying the crap that's on the shelves, ultra processed food, designed, they're taking the piss right out of us, and we're letting them. But anyway, let me tell you, the game is nearly over. Oh, great, Elaine. Yes, well, good luck with the move. I will definitely send you the recordings. Email me on lilia@healscotland.com because I do forget things and I apologise, but I'm now coming to the kind of last few weeks, but I've been busy trying to create material, promote everybody's retreats, and also look after my own energy levels as well at the same time. So bear with me if I make mistakes and things slip through, but don't give up on me. Just keep messaging me. And if you know people that are doing amazing stuff and that would love to collaborate, that really are part, I'm not about making money. You can come to me because you want to promote your business for sure, but understanding that giving back is the way for free. Giving people the information that they need is the way ahead. I just cannot see it any other way. Anyway, yes, Maria, there's numerous causes for cancers. Obviously, there's a lot of emotional stuff attached to that as well. We know that, how it affects our organs. And that's possibly that's what the stuff I love doing, get right into the emotions. People are scared of their emotions and how they feel. Don't want to look at the past, and it's almost laughable when you actually see the relief in their face when they let go. I love it. Absolutely love it. Anyway, I better go and go on. I've got a house to clean. and I can hardly walk, so I need to do some yoga. But listen, you know what you can do to help me spread the word, share the love, and yeah, let's be the change. Let's turn this around. We can do it when we all pull together. A lot of people are still wanting to hang on to the past. That's absolutely your prerogative. But if you're starting to go, oh, there's a new age dawning, the age of Aquarius, exciting times ahead. It can be chaotic when all these new energy waves are coming in. And, you know, if you don't understand that we are nature, we're connected, we're electromagnetic field, interact with an electromagnetic field, then you are going to think I'm mental. But that's okay too. Anyway, huge love and have a wonderful day. And let me know if you want to get on this course. Email me at lilia@healscotland. I'll just put that in, at healscotland.com. Take your power back and have a wonderful day. Ciao.